Hello, I was in the shower this morning and a church song popped into my head, but I didn't know all the words, but I thought I did until I realized I didn't. It was, what was this song? It was, I can't sing, but it was, Lord, you satisfy the hungry heart. And then the next line that I sang was, whose fleece is white as snow, which is like Mary had a little lamb or something. Anyways, I thought it was hilarious. And I started laughing to myself in the shower, but then I kept on making up words, right? And the next words that came out to this tune is, and Emily, you are capable. Yeah, and I'm laughing in between. But I did this whole little build me up, totally silly, dorky, weird, but hilarious little build myself up time in the shower, and it was great. And so I'm feeling good, and I'm just thinking of all these things that make me feel good, right? And then I was shaving. This has a point, I promise. I was shaving, and I went over this side of my left leg, and I noticed that I have little veins there already. You know, I'm pretty young. I'm 29, and I've already gotten these little like spider veins on my legs. But it was funny because I looked at them and I totally knew they were there. I've noticed them before, and I actually was so fixated on them. I hated them. And I have them on my thigh here too. And I'd be insecure in shorts. And I just thought, like, are you kidding me? I don't have kids yet. And I'm young. I'm not like way overweight or anything. This is bullshit. Why is this happening to me? And I felt like a victim. And I felt like poor me. And it's just not fair. And why is my body doing this? And all of those thoughts. And I totally went through that. And I don't even know when that stopped. It just completely stopped. And I had totally forgotten that those were there. I don't notice them anymore. And I started thinking to myself, when did I stop noticing those? I don't remember consciously not focusing on those anymore. And then I started thinking more so, and it's just through this work that I've done on myself, I've learned to love so much of me that I've really spent time hating. And then I noticed, like, well, what is that for me right now? What is the thing happening about my physicalness or my mind or whatever it is that I'm being critical of? Not in the same way as I used to, because I've done so much work on myself, but I still fall there for sure. And it is a lesson every time I do. And so I could think of these little things that I'm being critical of myself about, and they don't make me feel good when I focus on them. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? Those things aren't even going to bother me the more I work on myself. Like I started looking forward to when I see those things, and then I remember, oh yeah, I was so insecure about that scar. Or stretch marks. I already have stretch marks, you guys. I haven't had a baby. And yeah, growth spurts. Like, I got them when I was young. And I hated them. I don't really mind them anymore. It's whatever. And most women have them anyways. But I really hated them at a certain point. And I was in the shower, just looking down at my body. Tummy, right? So many tummy insecurities. And I like my stomach now. I think it's sexy, and I have rolls. And I practiced thinking these things. I practiced not focusing on them and focusing on something else. And then you forget, you just forget about it. And then when you are reminded of it later, you remember those negative thoughts that you had. And I had this just sense of pride or proudness of myself that I got here, and that in the next months, in the next years, I'm going to be at a different level, because different life experiences are going to happen, and maybe babies, and maybe my body will change, and I'll have to, or of course it will change, but I'll have to go through this all over again. But then when I think of doing that in other areas, all areas of my life. Like, where do I lack in my self-confidence in other areas of my life, in my business, in my relationship with my friends, with my husband, with my parents, with my everything. And so this is a great exercise to do, is to maybe sit and reflect on your growth, on the negative thought patterns that you know you have overcome, and feel proud of yourself and let that propel you forward to know that you're capable to do it in any other area of your life, whether it be a stretch mark or a vein or a job or a relationship that you used to have all these messy thoughts around, and now that you've cleaned them up, it feels so, so good to get to that point where you can see your progress. And I'm going to go a little longer here, but this one's good. This one's going to connect to a lot of you because it's about relationships. I had a moment on my client call today, but also a last night with Max, my husband, where he said something, and I didn't realize it at the time, but later with my client call, I started reflecting on this, and I thought, oh my gosh, when he said he was going to go do that last night, he was just going over to a friend's. I remember when I felt so insecure about that and thought, he doesn't want to spend time with me, he'd rather be somewhere else, and I would just spin in these completely negative thoughts that didn't serve me at all, and I really believed them at the time. And I just realized, like, I didn't think that at all, not even for a second last night. I was like, okay, honey, have fun, see you later. And this seems simple and like maybe a silly example to some of you, but I know for some of you, you can relate. How many of you make up this story in your head that maybe you don't realize it's a story yet, but you will when it happens again and it doesn't bother you at all, and you have that flashback and you see how much you've grown and how much better your relationships are. So I want to challenge you guys to reflect and to notice those negative thought patterns that you've left behind, and that you've done that and you can do it in every other area of your life. So see the growth and improvement, and then find that area that you're suffering in right now, that you're causing your own pain through those negative thoughts, and then try to build that self-belief that you can get through that too. And if you have trouble with this, I have so many tools. Come talk to me, book a session, whatever, DM me, here for you. I want to hear what you guys think about this. And I know this started with the wrong words to a church song, but I hope you got something out of it, and take some time to reflect on the growth that you've done to feel better. All right.